Hello, it is me, Matty, for LFC Transfer Room, and in today's video we're going to be looking at my predicted 11 and substitute bench for the first game of next season. So you'll be able to see who I predict us to buy this summer. There'll be a few changes, a few outgoings, a few incomings, so stay tuned for all of that. Before we go into it though, do not forget to subscribe. We're so close to 800 subscribers now, so don't forget to smash that subscribe button, hit the little notification bell so you can be notified every single time we upload, and let's get straight into the video. First up in goal, we've got the legend, Alisson Becker. I say legend because by now he is definitely a Liverpool legend for me personally. Won the Premier League, Champions League, Club World Cup, Super Cup, won the Golden Glove in every single competition that he entered 2 seasons ago. He is world class, and I do predict him to be Liverpool's goalkeeper for the next 5, 10 maybe years. Yeah, 5, 10, yeah. Some keepers play to like 40, don't they? David Seaman did. But yeah, Alisson Becker is definitely the goalkeeper of choice for our opening fixture in the Premier League next season. Not much changing at left back either. I'm going to go with Andy Robertson. I don't think there's anyone better who we could get to replace Andy Robertson, and I don't want to either, to be honest with you. He's the best left back in the world, in my opinion. I would like to see us in a few years as Robbo gets on, maybe try and get Alphonso Davies from Bayern Munich. He's only young and he is unbelievable. So I'd like to see us replace Robbo with him maybe in 3-4 years when Robbo's hitting his 30s. But for the time being, Andy Robertson cements his place at left back for me. Got to be Van Dijk, hasn't it? He probably will be back for the start of next season. He's missing the Euros and he's got to go in the team, hasn't he? For me, he will be the vice captain probably going forward and will probably be the next Liverpool captain, with then Trent stepping into the vice captaincy role. But Van Dijk has to be, he's the first name on the team sheet, isn't he? So he's the first. Well, he's the third name in my predicted 11, but he was the first name I thought of. For me, he is an unbelievable footballer, the best centre-back I've ever seen play football, and there's nobody better than him. So Van Dijk definitely makes my predicted 11 for next season. Next to him, it's a bit of a tough one really, because I do think Gomez will be back, and then I'd like to see us sign Kabak, and apparently, according to Fabrizio Romano, we have signed Canate. Liverpool just need to pay the release clause, and it's all official. So I was thinking, like, who do I want there? Like, do I want Gomez? Do I want Canate? Or maybe like see Kabak? I didn't know what to do, but I'm going with Canate. I do think Gomez's injury was a lot more severe than Van Dijk's, so it'll probably take a lot longer to recover from. So I do think on the start of next season, it probably will be Canate and Van Dijk. And if that partnership gels from the off, Gomez may find himself struggling to break back into the starting 11. But for me, I would love to see Canate and Van Dijk as the centre-back pairing on the first day of next season. Next up is right back. I'm going to obviously go for Trent Alexander-Arnold on this one. People are saying he has had a good season this season, but his numbers have still been pretty decent, and he put in that man of the match performance against United the other day. So for me, Trent will be Liverpool's right back for the next 10-15 years. We sometimes forget how young he actually is, and he's already pretty much won it all as a Liverpool player. Future captain for me, and I'd love to see him stay at right back. I'm one of them who doesn't want to see him go into the midfield. I'd rather him stay there and be the best right back to ever play the game of football across his whole career. So hopefully he does that. But yeah, Trent Alexander-Arnold is my right back. Onto holding midfield now, the back of the midfield three, and it's got to be Fabinho. Never should that man play centre-half ever again. Not that he done a bad job, because he didn't, did he? He done an alright job when he was centre-back, to be honest with you. Probably one of the best informed centre-backs in the world at the time when he was playing there, but in his last 6 games, we've not been beat when he's been playing in midfield, and I think Klopp knows that as well now, with him opting to start Reece and Nat in the United game and the West Brom game as well. I think Fabinho has to play holding midfield every single game. I don't think we want to play him centre-back or anywhere else on the park. He's too important, and as a holding midfielder, there is nobody in world football better than Fabinho. And next to Fabinho, it's got to be the captain on it, the skipper, Jordan Henderson. Led us to Premier League, Champions League, Super Cup and Club World Cup glory while he's being captain of this football club. And he's also won the League Cup as well, so the only thing he hasn't won for us is the FA Cup, which I would like to see us challenge for next season. But obviously Henderson has to start in that midfield. He just has to. He's the skipper. And I was someone who used to doubt him. He's quickly changed my opinion around in recent years, and I do think Liverpool massively miss Jordan Henderson when he's not in the team. Rightfully so. That's how a captain should be. He should be missed when he's not there. So for me, Jordan Henderson has to be in the first 11 of next season. I'm going to stay with someone we've already got, and people watching this are probably going to think Matty's going to say Curtis Jones. I'm not. I'm going to say Thiago. I do think the midfield three of Fabinho, Thiago and Henderson is the midfield that we all want to see. I think it's our strongest midfield, and providing we have got Van Dijk and Konate at the back, I do think that midfield will be given the freedom to get forward a lot more. So you will see the best out of Thiago, because at the minute he's having to defend and stuff as well, because our defence is compromised, where if you've got Van Dijk and Konate, I can't see Thiago having to do much defending, so you can see just how good he is going forward. So yeah, for me, Fabinho, Henderson and Thiago is the midfield three. On the right, next season, I'm actually going to go with Jadon Sancho. Now, don't switch off, hear me out. I do think Jadon Sancho is obtainable this season. Dortmund are selling him for 80 million, apparently at a cut price, because they need to recoup some of their money. So I do think it's a good buy. He is probably the best attacking midfielder England has to offer at the minute, bar Phil Foden, and I do think Sancho probably would develop even further than what he is at the minute under Jurgen Klopp. I do think it's obtainable, and if I was Sancho and I had the chance to go and work with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at United or Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool, I know which one I'd be going to. So yeah, starting on the right for me, first game of next season has to be Jadon Sancho. And starting on the left for me, first game of next season, I'm going to go with Diogo Jota. Now, people are probably watching thinking, Sancho on the right, Jota on the left. Where's the current front three? I am splitting it up. I do think that the current front three will be split up this summer. I do think one of them will be sold. I'm going to go on my best bet being Mane, because I do think Salah's too hard to replace. I think his goals to games ratio is unbelievable. Probably one of the best attackers we've ever seen in a red shirt. And I don't think we'll truly appreciate just how good he is until he was to leave. But for me, I do think Sadio Mane will be the one to leave out of that front three. So you can rest easy. Salah's not going anywhere. But for me, starting on the left has to be Jota. And just how good does this front three sound? I haven't even told you who's up top yet. With Jota on one side and Sancho on the other side. Hopefully it happens. I can't wait. And leading the line on the first game of next season is who else but Mohamed Salah. Do go and check out a video I done. I'll leave it up here for you to click, about why Mohamed Salah is the greatest attacker of the last 10 years for Liverpool. Because he really is. His numbers don't lie. He outscores the likes of Suarez and Torres in fewer games as well. So he is, for me, he has to stay. He has to continue leading that line. And if there's a front three of Jota, Salah and Sancho, I do think you might as well start writing our name on the Premier League and Champions League next season. I would absolutely love it to happen, but Salah has to lead that line. We know he can play central. He's done it a few times for us over his Liverpool career so far. So I think just moving him central, letting Sancho operate the right and Jota operate the left. I mean, they'll all intertwine anyway, but I do think that is going to be our strongest front three for next season. I'm going to go with Kelleher as the backup goalkeeper. I do think Adrian will probably disembark this summer, and I think Kelleher is more than good enough to step up to play the games in which Alisson can't play. And obviously we do have the likes of Peter Luger in that lower down. If Alisson was to get an injury to fill the space on the bench for Kelleher, then I'm going to have Kabak on the bench as well. I do think we'll buy him. I think we'll be stupid not to. Along with Gomez, I do think that we'll probably end up selling Matip due to his injuries, and I do think Nat Phillips will probably leave as well. And I wouldn't hate him for it, to be honest, because he's done a job for us this season and he's been able to be relied upon, but he's not going to sit and be a fifth choice centre back when he's 24. I wouldn't hate him if he was to go to another Premier League club to get minutes week in, week out, like what Conor Cody done. I think Nat Phillips deserves it. He deserves to play football, so I do think he'll leave. So we'll have Kabak and Gomez on the bench covering the centre-backs. Then I'm going to have Curtis Jones on the bench as well. I do think he'll stay, and he'll probably get more games next year, and he'll interlock with some of the midfield three that's already there. But I do think he'll be one of the names you do see a lot more next season. He has played 31 games already this season, but I do think we might see him a little bit more next year. I'm going to have Florian Neuhaus on the bench as well. I do think it's someone we are going to bring in this summer. It's someone we've been linked with to massively. All the trusted links as well have been confirming it. So I do think he will be someone we bring in. If it's not him, I think it will be someone of that standard to fill the midfield replacements of Gini. Although I'm not for bringing somebody in, because I do think Jones and the Ox can operate that role quite comfortably. I do believe that we probably will, and that would be Florian Neuhaus who comes in as well. And then also on the bench, it will be the Ox. I remember that can have 9 subs, not 7. But yeah, the Ox, I'm going to put the Ox on the bench as well. I don't think his Liverpool career is over. He's probably looking to settle, do his nursery up, because he's going to be a dad soon. So I do think the Ox will stay, and he's also a fantastic option to have for Liverpool, because I do think that on his day, he is world class, and he still has something to offer to this team, and he can play pretty much anywhere in the attacking sense of the team. Going to play Bobby in there as well. I do think Bobby will stay. He'll probably be more of a squad player next year. Probably play more when the front three rotate, give people a rest, come off the bench. But I do think that's perfect for Bobby. He isn't as effective as he once was. So I do think keeping hold of him and having him off the bench is a fantastic option for us. So yeah, we need to hold on to Bobby. And then I'm also going to throw a bit of Rafinha on the bench as well from Leeds. Another player Liverpool have been linked to massively this year. I do think he's an option who we probably will bring in. I'm excited if we do bring him in. He's a good rotation for the front three. The only thing that I'm not really for is he plays on the right, and the 9th person I'm going to name on the bench is Harvey Elliott. I would like to see Harvey Elliott stay and make a name for himself at Liverpool rather than go out on loan for another season. I've been torn with the idea of Elliott going to like Norwich or someone, or a Premier League team to get Premier League experience, or stay. But I feel as though you like to see in Norwiches and stuff, they're like yo-yo teams, they come up and down that much. Do you really want to play in a relegation battle inside that when his home team is someone who's challenging for league and Champions Leagues every year? I do think the class of what we'd need of Harvey Elliott isn't doable, unless we could maybe loan him to Dortmund for a year as part of the Sancho deal. Then I'd be all for that. But I don't think there is any Prem sides who would loan Harvey Elliott off us where he could start every week in terms of the quality of side that we would ideally like to help his development. But so at the minute he will be on my bench, but if he did get loaned out, I do think we'll probably bring another cover in for as a number 9 anyway, so that'll just replace Harvey Elliott on the bench. So for me, top to bottom on the bench would be Kelleher, Kabak, Gomez, Curtis Jones, Florian Neuhaus, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Bobby, Rafinha, and Elliott / a new number 9 who we might bring in to help with the front three stresses throughout the season. Let me know what you think in the comments, who you'd change, what signings you'd like to see come in, and what signings you might like to see leave Liverpool as well. And while you're there, do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Like I said before, we are nearly on 800 subscribers. And yeah, nice one for watching. Follow me on Twitter while you're there, and we'll be back soon with another video.